Hello, welcome to the channel. Today I'm doing a video regarding control layout for PlayStation controllers and Xbox. Keep in mind that I'm on PlayStation. I'm using a PS4 controller, so some of these controls may not be easy to do or create on Xbox controllers, but I'm sure that it'll still this layout will still be able to work out for those on Xbox. So I hope this helps. Um, If you guys have any questions at all, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Shout out, just wanted to give a shout out to my boys Bryson and Chase. They've also been needing a different control layout for aircraft, especially the AV-8. So I'm gonna go over thrust vectoring in this video, and then later on we'll go over the swimming aircraft to give you a little example, and then the F4E to give an example of switching using the radar on that, and then switching between weapon selection. So we'll go right ahead, and here are the controls. Controls mode, mouse aim. Actually, we'll go ahead and go in realistic just really quick, but keep in mind after that, go back to mouse aim. So none. Auto trim, yes. None, 50%. Your throttle, access, I'll go ahead and show you the access. Go ahead and pause the video anytime. Go ahead and as well just press add for now. Also keep in mind to make a different file by pressing R1 if you're on PlayStation. Create a different file. You can call it like controls 2 or however you prefer, but this is for top tier specifically, or jets. Just keep in mind. So roll access, go ahead and show you quick. This will be your pitch access. So your maximum value will means dropping your nose down, and then minimum is pitching your nose up. Just keep that in mind. Go ahead and copy these down. Joystick, none. Also, hold throttle for WEP, I have as no. That's my preference, so you don't have to keep using right on the right stick forward to keep your throttle on, or your afterburner on. Go ahead and show you my yaw access. Roll sensitivity, or my sensitivities, here you go. Thrust factor access, this is for your thrust vectoring on your VTOL aircraft. As you can see, a lot of these will regard L1. L1 would be like your universal button, so that to look around and to use certain controls. Just a reminder, go ahead and pause the video at any time if you want to look at those axes, but I would like to try and get through this so it's not a long video for you guys and kind of keep it short. So this is toggle auto and manual when you are, for example, in the SU-17. To start off on auto, you'll just hold L1, tap left on the D-pad to turn it off, so you can have manual on. Toggle your flaps. Flaps down, so if you hold L1 and tap right on the D-pad, it'll switch in between your flaps. And if you hold L1 and tap right on the D-pad, it'll go all the way to landing. And then just to bring your flaps back up, just press right on the D-pad. Takes some getting used to these controls, so go ahead and go in test flights. I wouldn't recommend jumping in a game. I just have drag shoot as this, so I don't get the warning symbol saying, "Oh, this isn't assigned." So keep in mind these are primarily for jet aircraft that usually have like 1 to 2 type of armaments, like for their caliber guns. This will be not assigned. I just have the drop bomb, rocket fire, or fire rocket, and air to ground assigned again, so I don't get the warning symbol. But you don't really use these, but you could if you want. Keep in mind you can pause the video anytime you want, so you can copy these down. So this is for the periodic flares. If you want to do your flares yourself, you could turn this off and do fire countermeasures, but you'd have to spam the buttons so then you can have more flares popping out. Me personally, I just have the periodic countermeasures on at the moment, and that's what works with me. Remember, if you're on Xbox or PlayStation, if you're on console, you gotta have them highlighted to work on these button layouts. At the moment, there's a weird bug. I'll show you for access ones. See? So when I go down on the D-pad, it says edit access for this one, but when I go down, it doesn't. What you do is just go below it and just go upwards, and it'll let you. You just can't. I don't know why, but it's a weird bug at the moment. Go ahead and show you these. Also keep in mind I like to have a high sensitivity for things, so then I can keep an eye on the enemy quicker, so I can react a little bit quicker as well. This is my preference. Reason why I have track aiming access still on is so if you highlight, like let's say in air realistic battles, if you press X on someone and then all of a sudden when they're highlighted and all of a sudden they disappear, you can just hold L2 and it'll still track them even if they're not appearing. It's kind of like a little trick you can do on controllers. So as you can see, I don't have look back assigned. I'll show you in a little bit when I take the hair out for a spin. But to look around, you'll be holding L1 instead of down on the D-pad, so then you can keep your left thumb on the left stick, so you can keep moving your plane. That's the whole idea of these controls, is so you don't. It's to minimize you taking your thumbs off of your controls to control your plane. Go ahead and press add. This is default, so I don't know. And this is where you would customize your aim, acceleration, and sensitivity will be right here. So this is the acceleration, and this will be the delay, kind of like a dead zone. And then toggle engine. The purpose behind down button L3, so to bring both of your thumbs off the stick, is so you don't accidentally turn off your engine during like a dogfight or something. Then we'll quickly go to common, really quick, go through these controls. Again, this is for PlayStation. This controls specifically L1 plus touchpad button. I don't necessarily use the multifunction menu a lot, but I just have it assigned, just to have it assigned. You can go ahead and hold L1 and then you tap on the touchpad. But for Xbox, unfortunately, I don't never played really on a Xbox controller, so me personally, this isn't really important, but it's also nice to just have. This is for chat. You first want to hold down the D-pad and then tap R3 so you don't accidentally turn on your flares. That's to open and close. And then to toggle in between the chats is you hold the left button and tap R3. But just remember, you got to open the chat first, and then this is to switch between all team and squad chat. And then this is always nice to have, the target for squadron. This works for jets. This is mainly used for my tanks, but still, it's always nice in CAS, or just for a quick spotting for squadron and air realistic battles. This is also nice to have if you're trying to edit some decals. You would hold L3 and just use your right stick up and down just to edit your decals when you're customizing your aircraft or your tanks or any other vehicles. This is all personal preference, just keep that in mind. Alright. And then before we go back, just remember, go back to mouse aim. You want to stay in mouse aim for arcade and realistic battles. I do have controls for sim. If you guys would like a video on that, go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section regarding that, and I'll go ahead and create a video regarding sim controls if you guys are interested. Remember to save. I recommend to create a new folder, which you go down here and press L1, or sorry, X. And then just in case you aren't happy with these controls or they're not working out for you, again, this is all just personal preference, may work for some, may not. Alright, let's go ahead and fly. So if you look in the top left area, this is for switching between your armaments, so like switch between your bombs and your missiles. This is for primarily air jets and aircraft. It's my personal preference. So go ahead and hold L1 and tap L3 at the beginning of a match anytime you take off or about to take off. So then, because R1 is for your guns and R2 will be for your secondary armament. It's just like in Battlefield, you press triangle to toggle between different secondary gadgets. So let's go ahead and take off. Up on the D-pad, bring the gear in. Let's go ahead and show the armament real quick. So I'm holding L1, and then all you gotta do is just tap L3, and then look in the top left to go to the bombs. If you press it again and go to 500s, then I go back. So let's start off with that. Turn on this computer. Boom. Then keep in mind, if you don't want to black out as you're pulling a lot of G's, hold L1 and then you'll tap triangle to dip the nose down. So as you're turning, you don't black out if your crew level isn't that high. Remember to turn Blitz computer on and off, down on the D-pad, turn it on, off, and then press again, turn it on. Just keep in mind about these controls, because it sucks when you're in a dogfight and you're aiming towards the ground and your Blitz computer is on, and then yeah, get some missiles. Then R2 fire. Well, I hope these controls work out for you. Let me go ahead and show VTOL real quick. So pulling in, trying to turn sharper, hold L1, hold down on the left L3, and then you'll go down on the right thumbstick to make your thrust vectors increase, and then to decrease, up. It's also the same controls. It's also the same controls for the Su-17 for swing wing aircraft. You would hold L1, hold down L3, and then use the right stick up and down to switch to increase and decrease your swing wing aircraft and your thrust. Let's go ahead and go return hanger. So try these controls out. Try and get used to them. Go in test flights. Just know that. Let me show you an example that I get messed up on sometimes. For radar, sometimes it'll turn off on, I forgot what the I'll show you, but yeah, it's really quick. Go ahead and hold L1, tap L3, and then to switching the missiles, you just hold L1. I pretty much am almost always holding L1 just out of habit. It's always a good thing to do. Except for when you're trying to use your guns, it won't work if you're holding L1. So keep that in mind. So let's go ahead and show the radar. So if you hold down the D-pad and tap circle, it'll do the searching, then it instantly lock. It does this on the MiG-21s that have radar. Yeah, excuse the SPA. And the F4E does not work on the Mirage, just keep that in mind. But yeah, so what's weird is when you want to turn this off while holding L1 and down the D-pad, it'll actually turn off. But hold down the D-pad, press circle to go back to normal. This is something you need to try and keep in mind. So hold down the D-pad and circle, and then if you want to go back to normal, hold down and press circle again to go back to normal. If you ever have an issue where it goes like this, let's say you accidentally hold L1 down the D-pad, which is normally to lock onto someone, and they'll turn off. So go ahead, down the D-pad, tap circle, or sorry, L1, down D-pad, and then down and circle. So go back to searching. Let's go ahead and get a radar lock. Where's the higher one? L1, down the D-pad, it'll lock on. If it doesn't lock on the first time, just keep holding L1 and spam down the D-pad, try to get that lock on. Then we'll go ahead and pull up the missile. That one circle. do aim97. Let's just go. There we go. Oh yeah, and then squares to zoom in. You can do. I want to zoom in on people. Fortunately, yeah, you can't look directly behind you, but you can always just switch in between left and right to look behind you. Or you can move your aircraft just a little bit so that you can see them. Well, again, I hope these controls work out for you. If you have any questions, feel free to drop some in the comments below. I also stream on Twitch at BWitTV. Same as my username right here above. Just without the underscore, obviously. Feel free to send me a request on War Thunder if you would like to contact me easier, or PlayStation if you're on PlayStation. If you're on Xbox, you're free to contact me through here or through Twitch. Again, appreciate you stopping by. Hope this video helps out, and have a good rest of your day. Hello, just wanted to briefly go over how to turn on your indicators. I didn't show earlier in the top left area, like your temperatures of your engines, and also how you can customize the distance, range, and altitude. So you go to options, then from options in the man parameter tab, you go to battle interface, and then you'll find the fuel, the ammo, and the temperature indications right here. And then to customize and edit your measurements, you would come right here. So I hope this helps. Like and subscribe, and feel free to ask any kind of questions, and I'll be more than happy to try and help you guys out. Alright, thank you, and take it easy.